Uh-oh. Guess what? It's just me at the moment. So, yeah, as you can see, there's a panel missing at the moment because someone hasn't turned up yet. Dom is having some children issues at the moment, I believe. He is just trying to get his little ones to bed. So, my wonderful nieces. So, hopefully he'll be along fairly soon. But I hope everyone is doing well this evening, and I hope you can just cope with me for a little bit. How is everyone doing? And hello, Daryl and Dave. Good to hear from you two. Just checking. Yep, that's all okay. Good. So, what's everyone up to this evening? We can get started. If we wait for Dom, it might be a while. You never know. So, it's my little bit of free time to talk about him when he's not here. So, if you need any secrets about him, just this is the time to ask. Because, well, I don't know. Depends what it is. Okay, Dave, you want a Judicar? Nice. And Daryl is catching up on some hubby. He's behind, apparently. Okay, fair enough. And hello, Vicky, who's watching from the other room. Ah, Ball Predator. Nice. You're finishing 5 Raptors, Mr. Blue. I like it. Good. Well, I will tell you what I'm working on. And that is this thing. Um, the Hunter. It didn't quite make it to the Apocalypse game because I ran out of time, but I'm going to crack on with it tonight, and I might get this finished today. They're not the most complex models to paint, so I felt like doing something a little bit simple tonight. I've been painting a lot of troops recently, so I just wanted to sort of focus on something I haven't done for a little while. It did, Mr. Blue, it did get buffed actually. It's got +2 to hit against fly targets, which is really good. But the bit most crucial is the damage profile is now when you do damage a flyer, it gets a d6 +6 damage. So actually, that's not bad at all. And also, there's no penalty for shooting ground targets now, which is one of the points I didn't like about it very much because it kind of felt a bit useless if you just didn't have anything to shoot at that wasn't a flyer. I mean, I don't know why I would take it if there wasn't a lot of flyers on the board, but I suppose if the point cost is still low, which because I think it used to be 70, 80 points or something like that, actually that's not bad. Um, and yes, if I did have it, I could have killed the ball. I know, I could have killed it a lot quicker because it would only have one job, and that was to kill the Hell Talon. Oh, got a message. Let's have a look here. He's on his way apparently. So hopefully in a second we'll have both of us here. But yes, you're right. I could have taken it to kill the bomber, which would have been good. So anyway, just out of interest, who has watched the Apocalypse game and did you enjoy it? I hope you did. We had a good time filming it. It was a bit of a long day, but um, fairly enjoyable. Well, very enjoyable actually, to be fair. Except when you get to that really tired point at about just coming up to midnight after filming 14 hours, you get a little bit bleary-eyed trying to concentrate on the filming and playing the game. But definitely worth it. And we're seeing that with the number of views we pick up on it, which is brilliant. So thank you for anyone who has watched it. I do appreciate it. If you haven't, go check it out. If you like to see some big armies fully painted on a nice table, give it a watch. Definitely worth it. I know a lot of people watched our premiere when we did it on the Sunday, although in a bit of low quality. That was my fault. Oh dear, YouTube processing times do take a little bit longer than you think sometimes. I should have given it probably another hour before I premiered it, really. So a lot of people watched it in 360p for the first hour or so. But never mind. It's up and running at full HD now, so can't complain too much. And then it was back to reality, yeah, on Monday. Back to work for a bit. Although I do have a week's break coming up in about 2 weeks now, So after finishing a couple of, well, semi-finishing a couple of large projects at work. So looking forward to that, and I'll hopefully get a bit of hobby and do some more filming. Although primarily I'll be playing a bit of Baldur's Gate 3, which is currently on my playlist to do that week with a couple of mates, which I'm really looking forward to. You must confess, because gaming is one of my other chief hobbies that I have in my spare time, which I do get quite a bit of when I'm not doing too much out of hours work for my work. So yeah, but I suppose I better get cracking on this thing. So yeah, the story behind this hunter, by the way, is that Don bought this for Christmas. With his other half bought this for Christmas for probably must be pushing 5 or 6 years ago, something like that. And I've just had it sitting quietly on a table, on a shelf rather, for the last few years. And I've been sort of going, oh, I'll get it done, I'll get it done. And I felt a bit bad because it's a present, and I don't like leaving presents for a very long time unpainted. But so now we'll get cracking. And, like I said, I'm hoping it won't take too long to actually finish this off, because I started some of the basic bits on it anyway. So, for those who did watch the Apocalypse game, what were your favourite bits, if you've got any? It'd be interesting to know. And if there's anything you didn't like as well. We always like a bit of constructive feedback. Maybe how we can improve it. Oh, hello, here he comes. Ah, he's there.
Hello.
You're back.
Hello.
Hello.
Lovely to see you all.
We started. There was a vote taken. It was actually don't worry about it.
Oh, right. How charming.
Oh, but I didn't say don't worry about what, did I?
Don't worry about what. Hello, everybody.
We were just chatting, seeing if anyone had watched the game, and got a few things of what people are doing tonight.
Nice. That's good.
And what I was working on. I'm going to keep it below
what
camera.
What were you working on, Thomas?
I'll keep it below camera.
Suspicious, sir. Yeah, that's it. You know what you're working on.
Oh yes. Right. Well, you know, but now it's got some good rules. So I'll.
It's such a meta chaser.
Yeah, I know.
It's unbelievable.
With this one hunter, that's it. And hello, Jack. You all right there, mate? Hope you're doing well.
Unbelievable. Well, me, Tom, I'm working on your Leviathan that you gave me.
Cool. We will see that in its final colour scheme.
Mate, it's going to be good. Looking forward to it. So that's what I'm working on. I can see some lovely people are working on stuff tonight.
Yes. We've got some bull predators. We've got some Judicar. We've got some raptors. It's all
all happening.
All happening. All kicking off. And we'll just chatting about the game a little bit from the weekend, because obviously that's our big one that we released on
Indeed.
Sunday. Oh God,
Still recovering.
I am. It was a long day, wasn't it, mate?
It was, yeah. I'm definitely still recovering, mate. No two ways about it.
It's all that heavy drinking you did, mate, before you went home.
I do like a drink, Tom. You know my problems. Yeah. My curses. My demons.
You had lots of them. Well, I mean, at the end of the game, there weren't a lot of demons.
I don't think there was much left on anyone's armies at the end of the game, Tom.
Not unless it had some form of track. I think that was basically about it.
30 tanks left. Yeah, a track or a jump pack, I think, were the two things.
The two main factors, yes. Because I think you had a lot of kind of jump troops left, and I had basically vehicles left, pretty much.
Yeah.
And a stubborn squad of assault intercessors. But yeah, we had good fun there, didn't we, mate? So that's the main thing, and we're already sort of pre-planning the next one a little bit, kind of how we want to do it.
Mhm. Yeah, so there will be another one in the works.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get one up sooner rather than later. Not too soon, but maybe not as long between the next one.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, Thomas.
Different armies.
We
don't know. See how long it takes to
Who
get
knows?
automated, mate.
Yeah, get those orcs done. Good plan.
Orcs? You said anything about orcs? I don't know where this orcs thing came from. It's
Yeah, orcs. Anyone in the chat want to see Tom's orc army grow into an apocalypse-sized force?
I mean, you do realise I've barely got 3,000 points of orcs painted at the moment.
You think? How many points?
Barely 3,000. It's probably more like
Well,
2.5.
I've got 3,000 of painted Necrons.
It's not
so
big enough. It's not big enough for apocalypse.
You've got no excuse, Tom. Pull your finger out. Yep, Andy in the chat there is saying orcs, orcs, orcs. He knows.
So,
Yeah.
obviously, a couple of other things have been going on this week, haven't there? Been some big announcements from FAQ-wise for various bits and pieces. How's everyone feeling about the changes? Obviously, I know it's more weapon-based, I think, really, for most people. Obviously, Marines and Necrons are getting some big overhauls, but
They are indeed, yes.
Although I must admit, as I said in our other chat that we have, a little bit disappointed with the Chaos FAQ, but
Yeah, well,
everything.
these things happen, don't they?
Yeah, it's just a shame. Although I did notice something that someone pointed out the other day is that Templars have lost their super doctrine as well.
Which one's the super doctrine?
That's one where when you roll a 6, it automatically wounds.
Oh yeah,
that's gone at the moment. So, which is interesting. So people are saying it's an oversight. I'm not so sure. I reckon they've taken it out to do something else later.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think so. I suspect so. But we shall see.
We shall see, Tom. That is, we'll be interested to see what happens. There's a lot that maybe we're taking for granted at the moment, and we'll see what actually happens, what occurs.
Like I said, I do wish they'd put the wounds on Chaos stuff. Yeah, I'm not a major Chaos player. I mean, obviously I've got a couple of nice Chaos armies, but I just feel it's a bit of a shame not to have done it. I mean, it might come along when they do the Death Guard one, perhaps, or something. Something a bit more chaosy gets released.
Yeah.
So we've got Reaper Autocannons going to -2. Yeah, that was an interesting one. I think I would have preferred them to go maybe 2 damage rather than 2 AP. I think. But as I said, there's a grand design there, and obviously a lot of the randomness from weapons has been taken away as well, hasn't it?
Yes, I like the melt change. The melt change is very nice. I'm very, very happy with that.
Yes. Is that the D6 plus 2 or 3? Yeah, it's 2. So you're always going to get a minimum of 3 at half range, aren't you? So, which is nice because obviously that was quite a random weapon, to be honest. I mean, it's a anti-tank weapon. If you get close enough, that you really want to make sure it does at least a certain amount of damage, or you feel probably quite a bit hard done by.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We've all rolled a double 1, haven't we? At some point, Oh, great.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, Andy there's excited for the new Death Guard Codex. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with that.
Yeah,
I heard they're getting rid of discussing resilience, but we'll wait and see.
What? Really?
Yeah. Yeah, obviously they're going to get the extra wounds, so maybe they're thinking they're going to get out somewhere else.
They're going to get 2 extra wounds.
Possibly. We'll see, Andy. We'll see if it's all lies. I mean, it'd be a bit of a shame, but as long as they replace it with something that's narrative.
Maybe they'll do something similar to what they've done with the Necrons.
Well, Necrons obviously have taken their role.
Well, it's not the same though, is it? Because if you wipe the whole unit out, you don't get the roll, do you?
What do you mean? Oh yeah. Well, you take it at the end, don't you? So
once all the shooting's been done, yeah. So
yeah.
if you lose the unit, it's not the same, is it? So I just wonder if they're going to do something similar to that.
We'll wait and see, Thomas.
Yeah, we'll see. It's not too long on that one actually, luckily. So, but you know, these things take time to come out. It's going to be a little while till everyone's got their codexes again. It just feel like we've only just finished having this conversation about everyone getting their codexes from the previous edition, and then when we're going through all this again, it's quite brutal actually. I think.
And that's a bit about the Apocalypse game as well,
Yeah.
isn't it? We had a bit of a gamble what the rules were going to be like. Some of them obviously haven't paid off quite yet, but it's quite hard because you want to make the game as the longevity of the game as much as you can, really.
Yes.
And if you went, oh, everyone's got one wound, and be like, well, Space Marines now have 2 wounds. You're like, oh, all right, here we go.
That would have been bad if we'd done it if we'd waited, I think, and done it with the true codexes. I was always saying we should do the extra wound on Chaos anyway. So.
Yeah, we'll wait and see what happens in the future. But yeah, I think if we kept postponing it until the rules are official, there'd be something else that's game changing.
Exactly, it always is. But I was saying, obviously, I picked up the little narrative book for the Necrons as well for next week. So hopefully we can leverage some games against some Necrons in there on some special narrative-y kind of playthrough. That would be quite fun.
Yep.
There's plenty of opportunity. So you haven't really touched your Necrons for quite a while, game-wise, have you?
No. Well, it's pointless to be fair, Tom, until now.
Very true.
And now.
Oh, he's got that out. I am looking forward to blowing up the table in the first game.
No, he's good, mate. He's got such a nice model. I do like it. So yeah, I'm really glad that the rule of cool has paid off in the long run.
In the long run, yeah.
I now have him. So
I hope they do that with the Crusader squads.
Yeah, we'll wait and see.
Wait and see. How dare you?
Crusaders.
Find out now.
I mean, I did write a very strongly worded email to Games Workshop, and I got that the Crusaders.
How was the reply on that one?
Way overpowered. They went, yeah, cool, no problem, mate. Yeah, no one really plays them anyway, so they're not really going to notice.
Your table's looking a bit bare behind you, Dom.
Well, tomorrow, my friend, I am off work, so I am starting on Operation Wargaming table.
Ah, you're doing the actual build.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Looking forward to seeing how that turns out, mate.
Yeah, I've got a few bits to do, so hopefully I'll have a bit of time between my errands, and I'll be doing that. Happy day.
Can't wait to have a bit of dedicated space myself, with big enough for an actual permanent table.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously everyone's seen the game from the weekend, hopefully here, and seen my living room's great, but you can't really leave a table up in it 24/7. It tends to get noticed.
Who in the chat has a dedicated space actually for wargaming?
Yeah,
out of curiosity.
Yeah, big enough for a table maybe. Let's go with that. That's the old hobby room.
Hopefully, a few people out there are fortunate enough to have something.
Oh, that's not.
Someone's got a garage. Is it a warm garage, Andy, or does it get a bit chilly?
It's got no roof. It's just just 4 walls.
Or maybe Andy's career is a car dealership and he's got a massive garage.
Yeah, clear it. Yeah, space is great as long as you don't fill it up with all the models you own. That's the problem I found. Once you start putting shelving units in and stuff like that, you're like, well, let's crimp the space a little bit. Detached house is cold.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be quite cold up here today, to be honest, and it was actually pleasantly not too bad.
Did you not have to crank the heating on then?
No, I haven't cracked it on yet. You've got to keep the electricity bill down as long as you can, mate. That's what I'm saying.
Better turn the computer off, then, you?
Oh yeah, bye.
To be fair, computers are quite good heaters once they've been going for a little while, anyway. Gradually warm the room up. Come on now, Mr. Hunter. We're going to get there. We're going to do this stuff together. So, I take it you did get your other weapon then from Forge World?
I have.
Very nice.
I've decided I'm banning myself from that website, though, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm going to take a little break from buying things at the moment. I think the Apocalypse game gave me a little drive to get a few bits and pieces, obviously. But I've got enough. I was just saying, I've got so much stuff to get through. The Codex will be enough for a little while now.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm also tomorrow picking up some spray after I drop the eldest at school. So I'm
nice.
getting some silver spray, Tom.
So
I
wonder what that's for.
Exactly. So those Necrons are going to get some
Can't be
paint
for Necrons because you don't play them.
I do. Just wait for a Codex.
You're always waiting for a code. I don't understand.
I am always waiting for a Codex. You're right.
Hopefully the next Chaos Codex does justice for you, mate. That's all I can say. I think you'll be very disappointed if it doesn't.
Oh yeah, but you know, it is what it is, Tom.
That's Genjo can listen to this. They're going to go, oh, if Dom doesn't mind, that's okay. Then we're just going to make it really bad.
I mean, they've been ignoring my faction for a long time, so
Well, I mean, that was kind of true for me until they released Faith and Fury, and then my faction wasn't too bad. Although I've heard a lot of people slate the Templars as being bad. You know, I'm just like, no, they're good. I enjoy playing them still. Don't care what people say.
Yeah, it's just a shame you can't. The thing is, you'd want to take your favourite faction to an event and win.
Oh yeah.
And I think both of our factions in particular are quite hard to play.
Well, especially if you play them in the style that they're kind of meant. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's not like I didn't have options for the Space Marines to win games. I must admit, you know, it's if you play a certain way, you can definitely win with the Space Marine army. It wasn't difficult, really. You know, but you know, I mean, I tended not to do that particular style of shooting list. So, not all the big intercessor blobs and stuff.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I'm just working on this Forge World Dubry at the moment. It's gonna put a few scores into it to make sure the glue adheres.
Are you doing any additional add-ons to him other than the base model?
Of course. I've got a few thoughts on how I'm going to do it, so should be quite an interesting.
Cool. I said I'm glad you got Leviathan. You've been kind of lacking one for a little while now.
Yeah. And I've decided to go with the combat version because, combat's where it's at, isn't it, Tom?
Well, Mr. Blue, if you watched a video of mine from a few weeks ago, I did try the big Dreadnought rush. It did not.
I'll get my demons.
Yes, that was a painful day for me. But
an enjoyable day for me.
but with the changes, yes, there's definitely some buffs to Dreadnoughts. So, and as anyone who doesn't know, I'm also quite a big advocate of the changes to the Chapter Master rules personally, because I thought they were stupid before. So I'm very happy about them sort of toning that down dramatically with this core and only being able to select one unit for that particular thing, as it should have been.
It became although the game at the weekend was very enjoyable to play, it did become very apparent that the re-rolls are quite a formidable thing.
Well, so though, my Chapter Master wasn't anywhere near anything, to be fair.
Yeah, which is a bit worrying, isn't it? There's so many re-rolls.
It was all re-roll ones.
But the thing is, it needs to just be nerfed down a little bit. Fair enough, have re-rolls, but yeah.
No,
turn it down from 11 to maybe a 7 or 8.
Yeah. So, as you know, I'm very happy with it myself. I think it's a good change. I'm not one of these people that's going to be crying about it.
No.
Yeah, because it also makes Space Marine characters a bit more kind of like, right, what shall I do? Shall I actually go and get involved? You know? Shall I sit back with this executioner directing its shooting? No, I think that is not my style of play. So
this is correct.
More than happy. Oh, hello. Come on, glue on there. But this model just broke off randomly. Bit weird.
So people in the chat, what did you most like about the Space Marine changes that we've seen in the Codex?
Or even the Necron changes.
Oh, the Necron changes. Yeah, if you're a Necron player out there, what do you like about the new Necron stuff? I, for one, I am a fan of new Resurrection Protocols, and allegedly, I haven't read it myself, so I'm just going by what I've heard, that all multi-wound units have living metal.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, living metal's brilliant, Tom.
Yep,
Sure you remember
no,
it.
I don't think it was.
Yes, yep. Shields have changed as well. A little bit better than they were.
I'm trying to think of some other changes that I've sort of read about. I mean, I think the Eradicator is still a little bit mental, by the sounds of things. But it's this new unit. It was always going to be quite a meaty one, I think.
The Eradicator.
Yeah, because they've not really changed them. So yes.
So yeah, Mr. Blue likes the shield changes there. Daryl, big fan of the reroll changes. They didn't make much sense in a lot of ways. Otherwise, happy with a lot of stratagems being rolled into the units. Yeah, that's pretty cool actually. Like I said, I think I'm obviously comparing it to Chaos, where Chaos has had the reroll ones, and then in combat, the Exalted Champion lets you reroll.
But again, that should have been how very similar to like the chaplain should have had that particular role. But then before you're like, well, why would I want to roll for a litany if I can just have a chapter master? I mean, naturally,
Oh yeah,
pick,
definitely.
It's litanies.
It's just strange events there, and it's weird because other armies don't have that at all.
Not really.
They don't have rerolls. It was just this weird thing that went on, and it was like, oh right, okay, it's very commonplace.
And I think just having the standard reroll one with a little buff on a certain unit if you pick it, I think makes a lot more sense. But yeah, as Andy said, Eradicators are disgusting, quite frankly. I have 6. That's because I bought 2 Indomitus sets, so I can't just put them to the side and go, I'm not going to use you.
Can't you?
I don't know, I kind of want to just blaze something of yours up in one round of shooting. I mean, imagine if I had them against that horrible knight you bought up in my rear lines. If I had a couple of them sitting in there, that would have been good, wouldn't it?
That would solve a lot of your problems.
I know. And that hell Talon.
The hell Talon, the hero!
Well, if Mr. Blue was saying if I had this with me, that would have been helpful. Yeah, the old hunter.
Yes.
Would have had one job. Because all those flyers you had on the board.
That's what I mean. I'm avoiding Forge World as well. Like, honestly, I'm sure everyone else has this. Like, you finish an event, or like for us in a Apocalypse game, and you're like, oh, what would have happened if I had 6 talent bombers? Although you wouldn't be able to see my army because they're so massive.
No. Nothing solves problems like the newest feature. Yeah, it's very true. I mean, there's always something every beginning of a codex or an edition. There's always one unit that's like, what the hell were they thinking? And of course, what they were thinking was, we need to sell. Yeah, exactly. We need to sell this model big time. Let's give it some stupid rules, and then in about 6 months' time, we'll nerf it down. I actually honestly think they shouldn't be able to shoot twice. I think that's the biggest thing there. I would just drop that and maybe give them a +1 to hit if they shoot at the same target or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Especially as you can give them like a multi-melter as well. I mean, that's mental. They're now heavy too, aren't they? So.
Tom. Should we play a game?
What game would that be?
What Warhammer 40,000 quiz. What Space Marine chapter are you?
Black Templars?
That's not what the quiz said. Right, Thomas. A horde of Chaos Marines are charging towards you. What do you do?
Oh, God.
Charge towards them, firing your bolter and mowing them down with your chainsword. Retreat to a bunker and call a drop pod assault.
Do we have to go through the rest?
Yeah, oh, we've got to go through them. Charge into them with rhino tanks. Send in good old Terminators.
Ooh, okay, you throw me on that last one.
See, that's why we had to think about it.
I'm going to go with number 1. So bolter and chainsword.
There it is. Okay. What is your weapon of choice? A bolter, a frost axe, a chainsword, or a book?
Chainsword.
A chainsword. Oh, good choice. Really hope they don't give you what you want.
I'm just picking what I genuinely want. Honestly, I'm not trying to cheat.
What ceremony would you give to your vehicles? Refuel and load up the ammo. Bless them with holy water. Perform healing magic on them. Chuck meat at them and give them animal sacrifices.
Bless them with holy water.
Holy water. Nice. Good choice.
That's nothing to do with you little... Yeah. Actually, you're not holy. What am I on about? God, Jesus. Oh, almost caught me.
What chapter do you think we're going to Tom's going to end up with? I know what he's aiming for.
What I'm aiming for. I'm just picking what I like.
Yeah. You have the choice of travelling in these vehicles.
Oh,
Which do you choose? I don't need no vehicle. A Land Raider, a Land Speeder, or a Drop Pod?
What kind of Land Raider?
It doesn't say, Tom.
Ooh. Well, you know what I'm like on the board. I don't need vehicles. I just foot slog.
There we go. You don't need a vehicle. Right, okay, that's cool. We're halfway through this quiz, by the way. It's going pretty well.
Good.
What is your favourite colour? Grey, blue, black, yellow, red, or green?
Black.
I can't hear you.
Black.
Yeah. Oh, I hope you get Raven Guard.
Right. Might do, you never know.
We're getting there. What is your favourite animal?
Oh, what?
A wolf? A bear? The Holy Ghost? No animals can match me.
Bear.
Bear.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This is the one I like out of all that. I mean, I could have said the Holy Ghost, which would have been the obvious answer.
Right. Who do you hate more? Tyranids, orcs, necrons? I don't hate anyone in particular.
Orcs.
I don't know why that's in a marine. Everything. Right. Okay. Someone makes fun of you, Tom. What do? Punch him a few times. Put a curse on him. Viciously torture him with sharp things. Accidentally push him off something tall. Tell him to say sorry. Run him over in a bike or a land speeder.
Punch him.
Punch him a few times.
You know me, I like to react.
Yeah. Right. What is your favourite film? Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Ice Cold and Alex, Sound of Music.
Ooh.
What do you think he's going to end up with, people? He's got one more after this. What are you going to go with, Tom?
See, I like Indiana Jones and Star Wars quite a lot.
Yeah?
I'm going to go with the Indiana Jones. Let's go with that one.
Indiana Jones?
Yeah. I like that. Vicky just shouted yay.
Right. Okay, here we go. Last question. This is going to define you, Tom.
No.
Okay, if you don't get what you hope...
I've got to repaint my army to whatever I get.
Yeah. Where on earth would you like to live? A library? A fortress? I don't care. Heaven? A vehicle garage? A nice house just outside London? I don't know how that defines what chapter you're going.
A fortress. Fortress.
A fortress. Okay. Right, everybody.
Oh, God.
The results are...
This is going to be bad.
Right. Okay, everyone in the chat. What chapter of Space Marines do you think Tom has been sorted into? What chapter has a sorting hat put Tom into?
Hat. Oh, dear. We've got a Flesh Tearers vote there.
Yeah. Gumpton's got my Flesh Tearers. Smurf.
Ultramarines. No, if I get that, I quit.
What else we got, people? Type them in.
We're going to make this a regular segment now, a quiz.
Yeah,
We'll have to find like really bad 40k quizzes on the internet and do just
I'm
take
sure there
it
must
down.
be more here. Oh yeah, I've
Definitely
got
a
loads.
Smurf. You dare.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got a couple of Ultramarines there and a Flesh Terror.
Come on then.
All right, Tom.
I
You
don't
need to
know.
go out to Games Workshop. I'll pick you up some tomorrow from.
It's going to be bad, isn't it?
You need to pick up some grey,
Uh-huh.
and you need to pick up some wolf pelts.
Oh.
Because you are a space wolf!
Really?
Yep. It goes, you are headstrong, courageous, and loyal. You charge into battle fearless and proud.
Oh, well. Alright, next army's decided then. Let's go get another Space Marine army.
Off you go, Tom.
I'm alright, thank you. I think I'll stick with what I've got. I don't understand how those answers led to being a space wolf, quite frankly, at all.
Alright, calm down.
I didn't even pick a
wolf. Brother.
I didn't even pick a wolf.
Doesn't matter.
Picked a bear.
That was a trick question.
That was a trick. I reckon you answered them wrongly. I can't trust you.
Like frost axe. Wolf. Yeah. Somewhere snowy. And there we go, everybody.
Right, you know what I've got to do now, don't you?
What's that?
One moment, sir.
Oh, we're not playing this game. Yeah, I'm going to get some grey paint tomorrow, Dave. Yeah. Andy, it could have been worse. It could have been an Iron Hand, you're right. But, you know, can't all have these, what we want, Tom. So, set up those Templars. Get some wolf belts. I think we've got some space wolf bits here somewhere.
I found one for you, Dom. Don't worry. I think I've got a quiz for you now, so it's fine. Just let it load, and we'll see how we go. I like this. This is interesting. So,
oh,
okay. This is not what I was looking for at all, actually.
Yeah. Remember, guys, to hang on to the end of the stream today, where we find out if I've won the lottery. It's always a fun segment. Spoiler for previous episodes, I haven't won it yet.
Actually, it is an interesting one. This is actually slightly more serious quiz. So, here's a few questions on the true or false here. So, do you like fast armies? Or not bothered?
Nah, not bothered.
Okay. Would you sacrifice heavy firepower for numbers?
Yes.
Would you only? Oh, what the hell is this? This is crap. Go away.
Not as good as my one, clearly.
I'm gonna give up in a minute. This will lose its luster if I don't find something in a second.
Going to quickly catch something.
Yeah.
Catch a Pokemon.
Oh man. Which Chaos Legion would you be a part of? There we go. These got loads of bloody... Okay. Mm-hmm. What sort of tactics are best used in combat? Great organisation? Sorcerous powers? Any number of ways possible? To take a stronghold and keep it? To use bioweapons? To strike in darkness with speed? To charge in destroying all in your path? To use masses of demons? Assassinations to demoralise and strike quickly?
Masses of demons. Come on.
All right.
How can I think anything else than that?
How strong is your faith?
Oh, come on! That's an obvious way of going.
What faith? As strong as it needs to be. Only faithful when it suits me. Kill all my god's opponents. I suppose faith can be useful. I love the gods with my whole heart. Knowledge of my faith makes me stronger. I sacrifice a lot, or I give in to be strong.
Kill all the opposing gods. Yeah.
Okay. What should be done to the populace of an invaded planet
Enslaved.
I'll see if they've got enslaved. Let's have a look here. I need new slaves. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. That's probably a better way of doing it. I'll see if we can match one to your natural answer without giving you all the options.
Yeah, that's probably a better way of doing it.
What do you think of your Primarch?
Yeah. He let me down a little bit.
So would you say he kind of dishonours himself?
Yeah.
All right. Or he betrayed us and we were only trying to help. No, okay. What are your favourite colours?
Red.
So we've got, well, okay, let's see. We've got blood is a colour, right? Okay, fair enough. That's the only one that has red in it.
Red.
All right.
Red all the way, baby. We got to see my armies.
What do you trust the most?
My battle brothers.
That's actually one of them. That's good. There we go. Perfect. And what is your favourite pastime? I can give you these options if you want.
Is there an Emperor's Children one? I don't know. If I'm a space
well, we've got planning a strike on Cadia, sitting in a fortress, praying to the gods, corrupting those to my cause, terrorising and bringing suffering to the weak.
Oh, corrupting. Pick corrupting.
Okay, corrupting is. That's it. You're done. 7 questions.
Nice.
World eaters.
Yeah.
Oh, 1 second.
Right, Tom's gone, so let's slate Marines. Right, so I think Marines are taking a nice hit, which is good. Hopefully they'll take a little bit more of a hit going forwards, and Chaos will become the primary force. I can't even slate them properly at the moment because I think they're taking a nice little turn in the right direction. So I'm going to cease my remarks about Marines for now.
You can't trust him for 5 seconds.
Oh, hi mate, how are you?
Vicky gave me warning. She says, he's slating Marines. He's slating Marines. Oh, we haven't done the like train yet.
Oh yeah, guys,
Come on, give us some likes. Go on, bump it up.
Thumbs down. What's going on?
Oh, someone's not giving us the thumbs down again, have they?
No, not yet.
No, I was going to say. Well, it was quite amusing during the Apocalypse video, because obviously when it released, it was in 360p because it's very high quality. We seem to get a lot of thumbs down, and they've all disappeared now, which is quite nice. So either people were very disappointed with the quality when it started, and then came back to watch it and went, "Oh, it wasn't too bad actually."
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Actually, I really enjoyed doing the premiere. So maybe next time we have
100%.
We should do another premiere and watch it alongside you guys when it's coming out. Although, of course, we've learned from our mistakes there, so we will
give it a little bit longer. A little
bit after instead of instantly. We've done it.
Basically, I gave it about an hour and a half after it uploaded, roughly. And it said 95, but what I didn't realise was actually once it's finished processing the SD, then it starts doing the HD, and it has to do the full process again at a slightly longer rate. So I'll bear that in mind next time. It's because very rarely we do that, because typically we'll upload the night before, and it'll be ready in the morning. So it's very rarely. I just wanted to get it up because we hadn't had a battle report up for a few weeks, and it just felt like you guys. I didn't want to sell you guys short. I was trying to keep some promises.
Yeah, no, definitely. And obviously we had the daunting of the Marine Codex at the same time. So we want to try and make it as good as we possibly could. And Tom, you did an amazing job getting it up so quickly.
Thank you very much. It was an early morning. I did start at 6 a.m. actually. It did actually take almost 3 hours to upload as well.
Yeah.
It was a 30 gig video, by the way, just so anyone was wondering. That's how big those videos are. It's quite a sizable amount. And we were discussing this, weren't we, about if we decided to do more dice rolls on camera.
Yeah, I think with that scale game, it's not something people.
We'd definitely like to, but if we can't reserve 2 days for it, which it wasn't really possible this time, it's not really a practical thing to do.
So it was a 14-hour day essentially, wasn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, we started about 10:30, wasn't it, and we finished at about half midnight. Although, in fairness, though, you did have to nip off home for a bit as well. So
yeah, we had a little bio break, as it were.
Um,
So yeah, we did very well. Well done, everybody involved. Oh, was it?
and Vicky. She bought us lunch.
Yeah. Ah, true. How's your hunter doing? Oh, cool.
We're getting there.
Nice one.
I'm not going to go too crazy with the colours in this one. I want to keep it fairly simple. I like the idea of it kind of being a little bit shadowy, just out of sight.
Mm-hmm.
So be a bit more highlighting on it, I think. And I'll try and use it in the next game that I play my Templars in actually as well. As long as you promise to bring some flyers.
Yeah, I'll bring some flyers. All right.
I know you're quite a fan of Chaos Fly. Oh wait.
That Helltown is going to be going right for you.
Oh yeah, you did have some of the Helldrakes. I forgot you had the Helldrakes actually.
Yeah, I had 2 Helldrakes and my Helltown.
Actually, I forgot. Don't remember killing 2 Helldrakes actually.
Yeah, but did you though?
I must have done because it wasn't on the table at the end. That's another quite funny thing about filming your pockets is when you're recapping the sheeting turn. Especially on like the first couple of turns, you're like, what happened? Oh yeah, I shot this over.
No longer on the board. That was on the board before. Yeah, I mean, essentially, more of your damage was done in the shooting, and a lot of mine was done in combat. So
Yes.
it's an interesting dynamic, I thought, between our armies.
I actually really regret taking as much armor, but then I didn't really have much. But I don't think I really skimped on my troops either, really.
Mm-hmm.
In all seriousness, I mean, you didn't either. On your troop, you had loads of stuff, but the problem was it was just I think the way we deployed kind of set the tone. You know.
Yeah, it's an interesting battlefield as well. It was for those who haven't seen it yet. Half the battlefield was city, and the other half was kind of like openish area with little fortress.
Some bunkers or something. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So it's quite an interesting battlefield. I'm saying next time maybe all city or city and desert. Thank you, Andy. Yeah, it was great fun to play, and I'm really glad that it's turned out well. That you've all so far enjoyed watching it.
It always amazes me the amount of people that actually sort of say, "Oh, we don't see many apocalypse games and stuff like that." And you're like, "Well, yeah, it's a fair point." It's I do like the fact that we can still produce something that a lot of people maybe aren't doing on a regular basis. I mean, obviously we tend to do at least one a year, and I think some people just, I mean, obviously a lot of people tune in to see the armies, which is fair enough, because I can kind of get that. I mean, typically if you look at the stats, the most popular part of the video is the first part of it where the army lists are done, because people just like to see what people have
massive army.
Exactly. So the game itself, it doesn't necessarily attract as much viewership, but I tell you, doing that premiere was nice. That was a kind of a spur of the moment thing. I thought, well, I'll give it a go. I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, and actually, it was quite fun talking through with people on the first playthrough, because I think it doesn't let you. You can't live chat unless you're watching the live part of it, I don't think. So it's quite nice to sort of watch that through with your fans. But next time I'd probably announce it in advance rather than just doing it.
At a whim. Yeah, so next time, obviously, we'll do a bit more in advance. It was very last minute kind of getting it out as soon as possible. So next time we'll give it a day or so, and then you can prepare yourselves, guys. You can get a couple of beers in, or tea, or a nice bottle of water, and some cakes maybe, or lettuce, whatever your options are.
Or a burger. Burger's good.
Or a burger. Yeah, and just sit back and enjoy it, because let's face it, guys, cinema's dead. It's all over the apocalyptic battle reports.
I mean, actually, speaking of topical stuff, there's poor old Cineworld, eh? They've had to close their doors again.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, they have had to close it. It's a bit of a catastrophe, really, isn't it?
Yeah, we were talking about, because obviously I think we used to go to cinema a fair amount, probably between us, I'd imagine. And I do miss being able to go out and actually watch a film at a cinema, bizarrely.
Yeah.
I said, I've got as I said the other day to you, I've got quite a large voucher for a local cinema here that does quite small viewings, because it's quite a small cinema, and I don't they still haven't opened from the first bout of the virus, which is just very sad, because they're a good little cinema, and I've always liked to support them when I can.
Yeah, so hopefully no one in the chat has been working for Cineworld.
Yes.
It's a bit of hard times for you guys.
Bond movie delayed again. Sad, sad face. I was looking forward to that one.
Were you though?
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah, I like a good Bond movie. So does Vicky. We like to go and watch them together. So one of our little things.
Yeah, fair enough. I must say I've not been a Bond fan for a little while, unfortunately. Someone in the chat's chatting away.
Oh, shooting through a friendly unit. Do you know, that's a good question. I mean, we've always played that. Do you know what? I have the rule book here. Shall we settle this one properly?
There you go.
Let's have a quick look because actually it's a rule that we've always played that if your own unit is blocking your line of sight like properly, we don't let you shoot through. That's
vehicles, etc.
Yeah, so if you've got like some las cannon troops standing behind a land raider, we sort of say, well, no, you can't see. Because I still think it is based on true line of sight. That's kind of how we've always kind of played it. I know they've had several different.
Maybe people in the chat can join in.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. It's always interesting to go through some of the rules. Because sometimes you get, especially with additions that creep by over and over again. One of the things that we're probably a little bit guilty of is we'll keep playing and then we'll go back and read it properly and we're like, so that doesn't work like it does in 4th edition. Sorry about that.
Yeah, lemon changing the rules.
So here we go.
Just gluing the kneecaps onto my Leviathan Dreadnought at the moment.
Well, see, all it says here is, if unsure, get a look from behind the firing model to see if part of the target is visible. For the purposes of determining visibility, a model can see through other models in its unit. It doesn't specify anything about other units. So if it's its own unit, it sounds like it's okay. And other than that, it just says if you can see it. So that's how we would normally play it anyway, pretty much. That's how I would still play it as well. If you can see it, you can shoot it, as long as you're not. Well, actually, at the end of the day, you won't be able to see it anyway, would you? So if you're behind something like a land raider.
Yeah.
It's like if you had a land raider behind a land raider, the other land raider behind it could most likely see what you're shooting at, is because it's bigger. It's the same size as the unit. So I mean, gone are the days back when we had the things like when you had to sort of the arcs of the weapons and things like that. That used to be a bit more complex. Back when you had to sort of.
Yeah, they've simplified it a lot, haven't they? So you can get the game done through quicker, and there's less kind of worrying about particular sponsors.
Yeah, and also being able to shoot the side armor and things like that. That was also a lot of things that were quite a big thing back in the day when you.
I used to love that.
Yeah, I actually still think, maybe not side armor, but I thought if you can get behind a vehicle, I actually think there should be a benefit of doing that. I think because
I think I used to love it being a bit of a tank commander, knowing what the enemy armor is. I used to kind of pride myself a little bit going back, be able to tell you like the armor profiles in each tank, and go, that's a weak point there or whatever. That's the armor. They're quite soft around there, or the side armor is good to use that heavy bolter on, or whatever. But I used to like that aspect of the game.
Yeah, so there are some throwbacks I do miss sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's all about progress. Now, I must admit, majority of the rules I'm pretty okay with now, to be honest. And I do actually maintain, in my opinion, that 9th is pretty good.
Yeah.
So what we've got here. Otherwise, the enemy cannot shoot the unit behind, as it has to shoot the closest unit. Well, like I said, if it depends what the unit is. If it's a solid tank, then I would say no. But if it's like just troops or something, and you can see it, physically see it, yes, I think that's fine. That's kind of how I read this anyway. And I think Dom will probably agree, I'd imagine.
Yeah, no, completely. Yeah, hopefully that's answered your question, Peter. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I find if we have a issue with with your opponent, sometimes it's worth just reading through the rules together, explaining both points of view. If you still can't come to an agreement, just make a civil dice roll and go,
Yep, and just say,
let's keep the game rolling. Let's not be held up on this one particular point. But the rules are normally there. Sometimes got examples. Actually, in the 9th edition codex are pretty good rules. Actually, to be fair,
yes, they're quite clear, I think.
Read, yeah.
And ultimately, I think a lot of people get hung up with. I would say that, let's say if there's something that you read something and you go, okay, that's simple, but it doesn't work the way I want it to work. So you kind of want to look for that confirmation that you can't do what you're trying to do. And normally, if it's not written in there, then if it's not something disproving what you're trying to say and it doesn't break the initial rule, that's it's kind of, I suppose, you can do it.
Yeah. Is there any rules in 9th edition that people find a bit peculiar? Talking about rules in 9th?
I'm trying to think ones that I'm not.
And after that, we'll talk about the boys, okay? So.
Okay.
We're not going to go on about the love sausage situation that we had last week.
That is good. It confused me thoroughly.
In what way, Tom?
Well, having not watched it, no other reason.
Fair enough.
So we haven't heard from for a little while. We haven't heard from old Peter Coleman for a while, have we?
Yeah, Peter, are you in the chat? Or is Stuka in it? Stuka, we haven't heard from
Stuka,
for a while.
A couple of people have been a little bit
Who's in the chat?
Been a bit
Put your name.
Join in. Give us if you've got any questions you want to ask us, pop them in. We're happy to answer, even if it is a rules question or something. Because we'll do our best to give our point of view on it anyway. Yeah. And then Don can talk about the boys in a minute.
Yeah.
And I'll listen intently to those who want to talk about it, obviously.
Oh man! On a side note, this Leviathan is going to look cool.
I know, they're such a nice model they make. That's the thing.
Yeah, I didn't realise how much posing you can do on them.
Oh, the kit! It's amazing.
Yeah,
all the joints they've got. Yeah,
so those who look, it's pretty cool. I quite like this bit here. You can with the legs
chest.
as well. The legs are quite good for manoeuvring.
They are a bugger to glue though, Dom. I'm warning you.
Oh yeah, I'm doing it piece by piece at the moment, mate. To be honest, it's quite hard going. So we're getting it slowly.
Oh, here we go. So first one from Jack, and not rules related, but why are the Iron Hands so hated? Iron Hands hated. Now, okay. I mean, I think if you're talking about hated when they're played recently, I think the rules had a lot to do with it. On their recent, on the initial supplement release when it came out in 8th. I think that probably. If you're talking about maybe, I don't know, in like the 40k universe, I don't know. I don't really hate Iron Hands, I suppose.
I think rules related. They're not particular. They were kind of frowned upon because all the meta chasers suddenly went, Iron Hands, and kind of abused it a little bit.
Yeah.
Narratively, I think there's a bit of dislike with the general population of the Imperium towards the Iron Hands because they are very, of all the Astartes, they're very inhuman, calculated. So I don't imagine they're particularly loved along the lines of potentially like the Blood Angels or the Salamanders. So yeah, I think maybe a bit cold.
Yeah,
that's my opinion. I hope that helps.
Well, the flesh is weak kind of thing, isn't it? Yeah, that's
exactly. Yeah, they kind of distance themselves from their humanity quite a lot to go.
They're already quite distant as it is, so
even further.
So Daryl asks, if you wanted a new army in the game, what kind of thing or faction would it be? Oh, is that like a brand new one? Oh, okay.
Oh, I'll tell you, Daryl, I was still thinking about this earlier. What I would quite like is some sort of like, I was thinking about this earlier, don't necessarily think too much into it. But I was thinking maybe some sort of like body snatchers-esque army that occupies the brains of particular armies and different particular races and units. So you could maybe have a little bit from each army, not necessarily the super elite stuff, but maybe like you could have some orc boys that have been taken over, and then maybe something from another army, something a bit bizarre, a bit different. So you can kind of mix and match.
So Gene Stealer cult then.
Yeah, no, Jesus. What about you, Tom? Any particular faction you'd like to see?
I would like to see the return of Prime Orcs.
Oh, okay. Big boy orcs.
Yeah, like but actually have them not the same faction as orcs, if that makes sense.
Is that because you're going to be playing orcs for the next Apocalypse game?
I mean, that'd be cool. But more from I'd like to see them sort of try and subjugate the orcs. I think that'd be quite funny. Trying to obviously to sort of bring them back under their because I know obviously Prime Orcs are technically the same race. I suppose.
They're a lot bigger though, aren't they? Prime
They're
orcs.
a lot bigger. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I read I listened to the Fabius Bile audiobook, and he goes into one of the Necron tombs, and they've got a Prime Orc kind of preserved, and it's humongous.
Well, if you ever get around to listening to like the Beast series, they're very well explained in the first book on that actually, as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah, there you go. Don't know that helps.
Yeah.
Who's next? AP. Is it worth it's magnetized smaller models like Sisters of Battle? Oh, so I'm guessing weapon loadouts, etc.
I think it does depend on if you're set to play a certain way or not. If you're not sure what you want to play, as in like army wise and loadout wise, I would say definitely magnetize. If you know that you're going to be running a very heavy flamer army all the time because that's the way you want to play, then there's not much point to it. Because it's quite a lot of hassle to magnetize the smaller models in comparison, mainly because the magnet size is quite a pain to get into the right positions, I think. I mean, it's probably not so much trouble as it is now, but
I think also it depends what kind of game you're going to be playing. Like, for instance, if you're going to be entering lots of events and you want to try and win some events, you might want to think about magnetizing your units, because then suddenly you might want to go, oh, actually, I'll tell you what, this is probably better loadout than this. But for instance, I'm making a Leviathan Dreadnought, and I could have magnetized the weapons. I did think about magnetizing them, but then I think, no, actually, I know what I want from this. I'm going to have a combat version, so I'm happy to compromise and not have butcher cannon arrays, and put I'm going to put some combat.
It's one of the same reasons I did my storm cannon array and a siege claw, because I wanted a kind of half and half. I didn't really see it, but ultimately I will probably get myself another one at some point, which will be both melee, because that's one of the things I want to do.
Yeah, and then saying that as well, I've magnetised a few units, like my Sakaran, I've magnetised that with the sponsons. That's mainly for transport purposes. But then for my Lehman Russes, I magnetised crew on top, so people can stand on top. And that was kind of like for hull points, back when they had hull points. So as it lost hull points, more crew members would be taken off, and it'd be a good representation of what the state of the tank was.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's up to you, AP, the reason you want to do it.
I hope that helps a little bit. It's also Jack just said, yeah, more tabletop-wise cheers, just started doing them. Oh, okay, yeah, so you see, yeah, basically it was all down to that, I think, obviously Forge Father Pharos, wasn't it, I think, and his ability, with certain abilities chained up with them and being able to minimise the amount of damage that anything could take to a ridiculously low count. It's one of the reasons they also cut the, one of the stratagems that could halve damage down to can just reduce damage by 1, because when you coupled it with certain things, like I think it was a stone artifact in the relics for Iron Hands, they could do some horrible combinations of actually going, you haven't killed me, sorry, I know you shot 400 las cannons into me, but it's all been halved and then lowered by 1 as well, so you could get to the point where I think you were doing 1 damage a turn or something.
Yeah, I think even with obviously they've been kind of they've taken that and kind of worked with it, FAQ'd it quite a bit. I think Iron Hands is still pretty strong. Depends on the Iron Hand player you're playing, in my opinion. If someone brought a beautifully painted Iron Hand army, I'd be brilliant. But if someone just painted an army black and went, well, there you go. They're Iron Hands. I'm like, but are they Iron Hands?
Typically, you just saw the the triple execution, didn't you? That was the other thing, or whatever it was. The two of them with the Deradio and a Forge Father sitting in between all of it, and it just got all of the ridiculous re-rolls and pluses to hit, all that kind of stuff. That's why people didn't like them a long time ago. So yeah, we've gone back to a point there, but then Mr. Blue was saying unaligned mercenary units. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that would be awesome, actually. That would be kind of like bring it back to like Dogs of War in Warhammer Fantasy, or like mercenaries. I think the more you read about the 40k fluff, right on the frontier, a lot of the races kind of work or kind of live side by side almost. So there's almost that kind of mentality, and it'd be quite cool to see that kind of thing happen. Because even if in Gaunt's Ghosts, there's some Xeno races teaming up with Chaos. So yeah, quite like to see that a bit more, kind of something a bit different.
You don't see a lot of that, do you? Really?
No, like the crew, etc. Like you think about them, they could in theory work alongside other races, not just the Tau.
The other thing that would be quite nice is having a planetary defense force based force, which is comprised of units from a planet, which is that's quite a nice way of looking at it as well. It's not just obviously controlled just guard. There's lots of other units that be drawn from a populace to fight. I think that's one thing that guard misses actually, is like the obviously like the conscript units they used to have, things like that. I mean, obviously, is conscripts available in there?
Yeah, you can still do conscripts. The thing is, like with guard, there's so much room
to
do stuff. Like you can have so many supporting units you can chuck in there. Like you said, like you get a medic in a platoon squad, but how come you can't get a medic chimera that maybe has a bigger aura for your troops to kind of get some sort of boost from? Or, for instance, you can have some more salvage vehicles or something. Or, there's so much stuff you can chuck in there to add a bit more fun and narrative to the Guard Army. I think they really need to do a decent rework.
Well, yeah, it's the same, because it's all about Cadia, really, which is a shame. That's where the core everything is. With the aesthetic and everything, it's all a bit...
Yeah, I think when they re-release Guard, they're gonna get some proper love.
Well, if you look at the Blackstone Fortress kits and stuff like that, I know that's Renegades really, but if you're thinking of it, they're doing that kind of stuff, you're hoping they'll go down that similar route by producing some sets for people. Also, we've got here, I'd love to see the Corsairs properly done.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And
I think you're talking about Elder Corsairs, not Red Corsairs.
Yes, yeah. And AP says, thanks, really excited about the Storm Shield changes. It makes more sense fluff-wise to me. No AP weapons picking off 1+2 saves. Big weapons taking them out. Yeah, that I agree as well. I mean, I always thought old Storm Shield rules of just having a 3-up and vulnerable was bloody stupid, especially on certain models. It was just painful for people to sort of shoot at, say, a captain or a chapter master or something like that with a Storm Shield, and you're like, so he gets a 3-up save and you gave him that relic that gives him a 2-up armor save. Oh, great.
Happy day. Happy day.
Because I think a 2/4 is fair. Especially with the 2 being modifiable. I think it makes sense. It protects from light arm fire, but doesn't stop big stuff sort of being negated. Obviously you killed one of my captains with melter guns the other day, Dom. That was very
I did. Well, no, it was a chaplain, wasn't it? It was.
A chaplain? I thought, yes, it was a chaplain.
12
wounds with melter guns in that game.
Melted into the
That was one of my favourite models I painted as well for that game. I was like, you wanted to go and beat your elephant in the head. Assault Terminators. Oh, they'll be fine now. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It'll be great. They're getting another wound. Don't forget.
Yeah. Couple wounds. 3 wounds is pretty good actually.
3 wounds is very. I mean, we noticed, especially for Plague Marines, didn't we, in that game?
Well, like I said, we don't actually know 100% what's going on with Plague Marines.
But it
makes a difference, especially with discussing resilience. So a 3-wound Death Guard Terminator, Tom. I'm not sure if you've got any Death Guard Terminators.
I've got a tray.
Pretty nasty. Yeah, and Deathwing Knights as well.
Oh, okay. Warptowns get +1 attack from the update. Ooh, didn't see that. I must have missed that one. Dom can now fail with more attacks on the charge.
Yeah, I failed all of them. All missed.
Honestly, I think the one that needs fixing for them is Raptors anyway. I think Raptors are,
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I think you use them the best way they can be done was with a special weapon. You know, me as a Night Lord player, I don't typically take anything except for combat weapons, and they don't do very well.
No, I think the way you can run them with combat weapons is like most of the time with Raptors. Generally, you're going to play against Imperium. Like more often than not, if you're going to play against someone, it would be an Imperial player. And I think what I've done is use the icon of excess.
Yes.
So then your depth of force is going off on a 5 rather than
Rather than a
6.
6, yeah.
Yeah, you can pile in those attacks a little bit more than you can
Yeah,
normally.
because I've obviously always been a little bit pigeonholed into play as I'm playing Night Lords. I always tend to take him as Mark of Nurgle with an icon of despair to
Yeah,
try and increase that debuff. But then saying that, I don't think you can modify it by more than one now anyway, can you?
I don't think so. So
No.
yeah, you.
So it kind of negates that particular method, but then they'll probably change the way that works entirely anyway, I suspect. So, because obviously there's no point in having something that you can modify it more than one in a combination, then
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens. But I think yeah, Raptors. There's different ways of using them. I mean, there's better things in fast attack if you're depending on once again, depending how you're going to play. If you're going to play fun narrative, or if you're going to play competitive, like if you're doing competitive chaos, Spawn seem to be very popular at the moment because they're very cheap and they and I think there's other stuff in chaos you can use fast as well. I kind of want to see bikes. I'm tempted with bikes. Once again, making them Slinish with plasmas and those combi bombers, charging them up the battlefield. I feel that can be pretty nasty.
I'd like to see some good new Chaos bike redesigns. I think that'd be a cool unit release for them.
Yeah.
+1 strength power. Yeah, I mean, Sisters obviously being strength 3, it does help them quite a bit. I mean, I'm looking forward to actually playing my Sisters against you, Dom, at some point because obviously we missed that game previously.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it, mate. I'm looking forward to Scarbrands.
Even if I'm bringing some knights, sorry about that.
Scarbrands looking forward to it.
Poor Scarbrand. He tried to do so well in that game.
Hey, he took out a Leviathan.
Now let.
Spoilers, by the way. He killed a Leviathan.
And yes, Mr. I thought that was the case, and that's why I think Raptors are even worse, especially if you're playing Night Lord Raptors, because they can't do what they were kind of geared to do, which is to scare the crap out of the enemy. In fact, it makes most Night Lord tactics pretty irrelevant, I suppose.
Yeah, must be a shame.
Because obviously you used to be able to stack it up, didn't you? And then that was the whole point, was to try and force leaderships. Although I haven't checked the Faith and Fury thing, if they've had any changes on their one. I doubt it. There wasn't really many in there, actually. But yeah.
I would have a bang on my book.
No, that's right. Like I said, for Templars, the Faith and Fury book is no longer relevant. Because the Index Black Templars overrules it all. So we don't need the book. We don't need the book anymore.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the other factions are going to look like, to be honest, because I think it's quite interesting that Necrons obviously have this like secret kind of dynasty stratagems that they can use, or not stratagems, but order of play. I'm really looking forward to trying that out.
Oh, okay, Mr. Yeah, okay, so you can modify the lead. It's the leadership role I was thinking of anyway, not the attrition one. Sorry, I must have misread what you said a minute ago. So yes, that is. So you can still do that then. Right, I'm gonna let that dry a little bit because I'm getting my hands covered in bloody paint. Jesus, that's getting a bit better now, then. Look, there you go.
Look. Very cool.
Firing missiles at your hell town in no time.
Why are you like this? You can also fire at demon princes.
Yeah, they've got to fly, haven't they? Oh, actually, that's pretty. Oh, I didn't think about that. That's even. I hope it. Well, I don't know. D6+6 on the demon prince.
What Space Marine tanks have fly?
Well, they've dropped the fly keyword on Space Marine tanks, haven't they?
Oh, have they? Oh, no, they have. You're right. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Which is another good change, I think, because that was too strong for them to get away. You couldn't really lock them down, which I thought was ridiculous. Oh, that's better.
from the water.
Yeah, I am. It's been rehydrating, Dom. Got to keep it. Is it lottery time yet, by the way, Dom? Or
Oh, it's almost lottery time. I don't know.
I
Let's have a look.
was just thinking it's
Have they given the lottery? They have. Right, bear with me, everybody,
Here
while
we
we
go
check
again.
the
And
lottery number.
while we're doing that, I'm going to paste in another Discord link. So anyone who's in here who hasn't joined our Discord, please come along and join us. We're trying to get a little community going. These links are valid for 1 day after the stream. So if you see it in the stream, click on it. Come join us in Discord. Come and have a chat with us. We've got a nice members area. All very friendly so far.
Right, everybody, keep your fingers crossed. Okay, Dave, hopefully you're still in the chat. This might be our time to retire from work.
I've got my fingers crossed for you, buddy. No selfish reasons in there at all.
I'm leaving you high and dry, mate.
Just come round and say, I'll buy all your models for £1 million, and then I'm going.
I'm in the bin. I'm going to look out the window, Tom. Smack. Right, here we go. Right, lottery numbers. Right, we've got 4. Oh, no, here we go again. 21. Only 21's there. Yeah, nobody do not. 36. Have we got any 36s? 3 and 6. 36.
Oh.
No. 41. 4 and a 1. Well, this isn't looking positive at all, is it? 47. And then a 9 and a 11. Tom.
No. Oh, well.
I don't think I could talk about it, to be honest. But
that's right, mate. Just pretend you didn't buy any tickets.
I just feel I'm letting everyone down on the chat. I think eventually, you guys are going to get fed up with me losing the lottery.
Maybe they'll just leave. Oh, shit, that's the only thing they tune into. Just to come watch you lose the lottery or to win it.
Yeah.
Everyone's gone now. Look, it's just gone down. Concurrent viewers 0 now, joking.
Yeah, boring.
Although I will have to wrap it up soon, I'm afraid. So, as is our normal tradition.
Yes, AP, there is always next time. And I will win it eventually. And you'll be here.
You'll be here, so we can send like a £1 gift out to everyone or something.
What? That's my money, Tom.
No. I don't think you understand. You're winning it for me. Okay.
What?
Your syndicate at work is winning it for me. So no, I play enough of the lottery myself as well, and I haven't won anything for a long time either. So.
AP, where are you from, by the way? And welcome to our little chat. A lot of familiar faces. AP, you're obviously either a long time watcher, first time chatter, or you've come straight in asking the questions, which is also
we like it. We like the bit of back and forth. Right.
Look, I'll show you what I've been doing so far on the stream. So.
Oh, he's got his leg. Oh.
I haven't glued his feet on. Well, his feet are on and his legs are glued, but so
nice. Oh, cool. You got a nice little step up.
A little bit of a strut. Yeah, so he's got a Terminator thing there. So I've got a few more bits I'm going to add on there, but he's getting there. And I've added a little scar on his face. He's going to look pretty cool when he's
So AP is from across the pond in the USA, and he's a sometime lurker. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Well, welcome, my friend. Welcome. Whereabouts in the US are you from? On a separate note, Tom, I think next time we're going to do another quiz as well and find out what kind of orc you are.
I haven't really picked which orc I am, to be fair. I kind of left
it's going to help you, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I don't know why I need this orc training at all. I mean, I'm not doing any orcs. People seem to be very confused about that.
He's doing all the orcs.
Maybe I've secretly been doing them all this time.
I hope you have. I love orcs. I think they're fun.
No, I do. I need to warm up to doing them. I must admit, actually, what I'm probably going to do, in all seriousness, is I am going to finish this tray of Templars off. Because I've basically got 6 bikes, 6 Eradicators, 3 Aggressors, that's the one I'm looking for, and a couple of the other characters. And then once that's done, I'm going to probably pick something else to solidly work. And I also need to finish my Grey Knights as well. I know you like me here now, but the Orcs are on my list definitely. I promise, because it's an army I want to get sorted out. I've kind of been. I think with the Orcs for me, it's been very. I'm not quite sure where I want to take them.
You've been curious.
Yeah, well, I don't know what. I'm still not quite sure where I want to go with them because they're quite a difficult army to.
Yeah, I mean, my advice for Orcs, because I play Orcs, and I kind of put Orcs in the same category as I do Guard, where you've got this massive opportunity to do whatever you want. Like you can start off doing like a speed freak army, and you can chuck a load of like a goth kind of element in there, put some bad moons, and you can do anything you want, which is pretty cool.
As you know, I started off with a dready walkie army.
Yeah.
And actually, I found I'm not that big a fan of that now. I like I think.
What's your heart telling you? What's your green heart telling you?
Well, the thing is, I think it's actually I like the bigger walkers. I think that's the problem.
The Morkanaut,
Gorkanaut, and the obviously the Stomper. I do like the Stomper. I don't really like the kill cans. I think they're useless, really. I want them to be good, but I just don't really. I just don't. They're not that brilliant. Not just rules wise either. I'm not a big fan of them in general. And then obviously I then added a lot of long range guns on. So I thought I was going shooty. So I thought I was going bad moony.
Yeah.
And then I've kind of like, I quite like combat. So then I started trying the Goths out, and I quite enjoyed that as well. You see what I mean? So it's quite difficult, and when you're trying to focus on those two opposing parts, it's quite because as you know to begin with, I was going to do like a massive flash skits army. Yeah, that was my original plan, and I never did that actually. So maybe I'll go back and do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be cool, mate. Honestly, like when I was thinking, like you just kind of like, oh, where do I want to start? My orc were mainly speed freaks, so a lot of mounted stuff, but then you kind of go, oh, well, I wouldn't mind a bit of this, and put some more salvage vehicles in, and then kind of go, well, I'm probably more Death Skull than I am.
Yeah, exactly. But it's one of the reasons I went with a red and kind of very light green color scheme because I felt like it balanced not being a speed freak red color, I think, and the green kind of gave me a little hint of a different color, and then I liked that. That's the other thing. Because obviously I think traditionally, obviously, if you do 9,000 points of Goths,
boys.
Yes. I mean, I've got. I said the one thing I did, which was the first thing I did when I got my orc army, was I got 100 boys. That was my first thing I did, and I felt like that was and they were chopper boys as well. They weren't shooter boys, all choppers, and that was cool. There he is.
So this guy, he lives on my computer. He's my I had this guy living in my my bits box for a very, very long time, and I got bored of painting Chaos Marines and Guard and Necrons, so I was like, I'm gonna paint this guy. So I painted him. Also living on my computer, I've got a little blue horror. Once again, I was like, I want to paint something different, so I painted that guy as well. But they are my mascots. But yeah, orcs. Orcs are brilliant, Tom. I also like the Orc Flyer, though. You've got a couple of Orc Flyers,
I've got 3 flyers. I've got 2 Blitzer bombers and 1 burner bomber.
Nice.
I actually like the flyers now. I think they're a lot better than they used to be. So yeah, it's one of those things. I'm just trying to find out what I want to do with them, really. And I must have quite enjoyed using bikes. And then troops are one we love. The around 30 boys. Yeah, see, that's what I like that as well. It's just the other thing with the problem is that I need to get more boys. Really, that's the thing. So.
Do you find yourself a bit like, oh my goodness, I don't think I can put myself through painting any more boys?
That's one of the stages I'm at. Yes, but the thing is that kind of bleeds on into some of the other infantry units as well, because they're very similar in sort of size and type. You know, so if you take like a what was it? Well, actually, I mean, Grots are not a good example because they made me cry. But yeah, but looters, for instance, you know, although they've got guns on their shoulders, they're very similar to an orc boy in many ways. You know, the 80% of that model is orc boy, and then they're holding a big gun rig on their, around their necks. So they've been sitting in a box. But the other thing is, I then tried out some Weird Boys, and also I had this idea about doing mechs, and they changed all that around because I've got the mechs you got me, which I want to get done.
Yeah.
He's here. So yeah, that's kind of, and I've got one of the Weird Boys I need to put together. Although I think, as you know, when I was doing that originally, I preferred the look of the Orc Shaman as a Weird Boy rather than.
Yeah, you got one in your army at the moment.
Yeah, I
haven't
have. I preferred it because I don't know. I found the Weird Boy model weird. I know that's a silly way of putting it, but you know what I mean. It seemed too crazy even for an orc. But yeah, maybe I'll just go back and start doing. I don't know. Just go and do an Inquisition Force again. That'd be right. No.
That's not how it works. You've gone off of topic, Tom.
No, my orcs are still a thing. I've actually got loads of vehicles to do as well. I've got a battle wagon and 2 trucks.
Yeah, it's increased those
about 25% painted each.
Nice.
So you're
gonna need them against my Necrons, mate.
But I think the thing that put me off about the trucks is their transport capacity.
Okay.
I think it's 12 Orc Boys, which for me doesn't work.
Well, maybe you need some specialist troops to put into your.
Or flash kits.
Yeah, exactly. Put something in them.
Yes. No, it's definitely something it'll be on my list this year, 100%, and a bit next year, obviously.
Well, like I said, your nieces, they will be buying you orc stuff for Christmas. Don't
That's
think
very nice of them.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, don't think at any point you can't make orc stuff or paint it.
Mr. Kerry K, yes, the Gazgale model is amazing. However, I don't think I'll be having him for my army. If I'm totally honest, mainly because I'm trying to keep it as my themed army without a kind of a known faction leader on it. Really, I could probably build something in and do accounts as Gazgale, I suppose. That'd be cool. You're right, I don't look like you're having trouble with your model.
No, it's getting there, mate. I'm just trying to position him properly and kind of work out where I'm going to put the torso, because I've got this kind of idea in my mind how he's going to be positioned.
Yes.
So I'm working on that at the moment.
You're going to have his arms crossed like this?
Gangster, proper G. Yeah, now he's... I'm thinking maybe his claw is going to be the rock claw thing. It's going to be on the left.
The little... Is it the one with the little...
The drilly bits.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the one I didn't get because I went with the siege claw on mine.
Yeah, so I've gone with both, one of each, because you still get the attack bonus of having one of each. One's good for troops, one's good for vehicles. Either way. And I'm thinking maybe I'm going to drill a couple of little holes in it and kind of, so axe is almost like the position he's having. Axe is a bit of a shield. He's kind of like putting it up there and a couple of little bulky holes are going in there. And then obviously it's coming around for the claw.
Yeah, no, I must admit, I think I missed out doing a combat one for my Templars actually as well. I'm
thinking also with strategic reserves, it's quite a daunting prospect. Like, I know if you put your Leviathan in reserve, and you'd be like, oh God, when's that thing going to turn up? But then also for an angry combat version, it could be quite fun.
Well, yeah, speaking of reserve, just before I go on to Mr. Kerry K's question there, obviously, I tell you saw about you can now do an entire drop pod army again. Yeah,
that's good. Man, my Flesh Terrors, they were all about drop pods and Assault Marines. Obviously this was way before the channel, and I had a Flesh Terror army in an Apocalypse game. We literally dropped right in the middle of a hive fleet. It was like, come on, here we go, boys. Rip that chainsword up.
Mr. Carrier was asking, do you think that teaser a few weeks back was Orc Boys? That was actually my first reaction when I saw that. I thought it was definitely going to be Orc Boys, and I think I actually suspect one of the first collector's releases is going to be Orcs, because they were actually one of the first again in the previous edition, weren't they? I think, if I remember correctly, after the Death Guard and stuff. I think they did Orcs were fairly soon after.
So, I think Orcs are going to be quite a quick one to come out.
Yeah, I think so.
I really hope it's more Orc Boy models, because even if you don't like. Orcs are so numerous on the battlefield, you don't have to get fancy models for each Orc Boy, do you?
No.
So you can just quite happily go, I'll get a couple of boxes of new ones, I'll either kit bash onto the old ones, or I'll just make some old.
You can mix and match, they work, because Orcs are all different sizes. That's the thing.
Boys.
Go on, there's one
Captain
for you there,
Jack.
mate.
Yeah, so when it goes horrifically wrong, like mine did, with the opposing, stick them in the freezer and you take them apart and rebuild. No, normally what I do, Captain Jack, is I pass them on to Tom. I don't know if you've seen the film Goonies, where you give him something valuable, and then what he does is he drops it, and it all shatters.
That didn't happen during the filming of the Apocalypse video at all. Nope. No. There's no. I don't remember anything where I walked past.
My Land Raider! Yeah,
90, not 240. Sorry. But yes, so I do apologise for that, Dom. I hope it has repaired okay.
Yeah, comments, Thomas.
Anyway, on that note, I am going to have to skedaddle.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for watching once again. I'm sorry I was a little bit late, but I've enjoyed being here for what time I've been here.
You made it up.
So,
you've gone on a bit longer, so you're all good.
Yeah, cool. Well, yeah, take care, everybody, and we will see you soon.
Yeah, hopefully we'll catch you all on the next stream, so please come along for that. Take care, everybody.
And if you have any on Discord, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.